What's up, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Live. This is episode 64. 64. We're on time. We're early. It's only going to be me. Brandon probably might stop in. P still traveling. The other guests are out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be holding it down. I'm going to go through a couple clips. Reaction clips. This is me alone. I gotta hold it down. It's slightly different format. Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. So I'm gonna hold it down. Slightly different, right? Different format. But as we get started, how's everybody doing out there? So what we're gonna start with is I seen this. I'm gonna just play it how it came through. I'm gonna play it exactly how it came through. So let me go ahead and hit the share button, and we run the first video. And get stuff rolling. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Pull this across. Give me 1 second while I'm getting that set up. I just put that there. And we'll go. So as I get this set up, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Get it all set up today. Here we go.
This union,
I said I don't.
Jesus, will you take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife?
She said she
Protect
don't.
her, care for her, love her, as long as you both shall live? Yes, I do. Say it well. Yes, I do. Please, let's celebrate. Right. Bride, do you take this man to be your lawful wedded husband, submitting yourself to him as the head of this union for the rest of your life? Right. What's happening? I said, do you take this man to be your lawful wedded husband, submitting yourself to him as the head of this union for the rest of your life? Eh? I didn't hear well. Please, wait. Keep on this, wait. You say waiting. Wait, let me repeat again.
My boy got on chanclets.
So should I use pidgin English?
Got on flip flops.
Andrella, I say, you go take this man, make you be your lawful wedded husband, submitting yourself to as the head of this union. Okay. What is wrong? What is happening? This has never happened. Okay. This has never happened. Never. Not in GMCC.
Tell them what I've been telling me at home. Each time you come to visit me at home, tell them what I've been telling you. Okay, tell them. I'm here with you, my daughter.
So I guess she said no. She said no. Let me pull this back. Let me go to this one. Yo, she actually said no. Think about that. You make it all the way to the altar, right? And hold on. I'm trying to see if I can get the on screen. You make it all the way to the altar. And your bride call it off. It don't even have to be the bride. It could be the guy too as well. That's really hard, yo. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. That's really hard. to money, time, effort. Think about that, yo. You could tell she had cold feet too. I know a lot of people go into marriage with cold feet. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people go into weddings with cold feet, but it's all based on the reason why they don't keep those vows. She was out of it. She was out of it. But hey. She ain't want to do it. So I agree. I'm not mad at her for not wanting to spend the rest of her life with somebody. But think about that. To go through all of that, get the dress, do that, get in front of all those people and say no. As a man, I was like, that's a slap in the face. But she don't want to do it. She don't want to do it. It's better now than 2-3 years later, you got to split everything with her. Right now, you just spend the money for the wedding and it's a goodbye. You know what I'm saying? It's a goodbye. So you save yourself that headache and that heartache and that pain. I got to say that. Definitely got to say that. Let me pull up the next clip. But he was heartbroken. I hope it wasn't a skit. Hoping it wasn't a skit. Let's see what's this one. Here we go. So we're going to roll into the next clip. Here we go.
Tontowaga McD, who just opened her beauty salon, unfortunately, basi akabhadali abantu.
I can't do this video. I can't do that video. Let's go back here. Let's go to this one right here. All right. Let's do this one.
How much money do you need for real? Realistically, allowance. But you really just to sit down and don't work.
DJ said allowance.
For me to sit down and not work,
Yeah, like $5K in school a month.
I would need more than $5K a month.
With no bills and shit.
I gotta pay the bills and give you $5K.
Oh, he's paying
More
all the
than
bills
that.
and giving me $5K?
Yeah. Don't settle, Barbie. We just saying we trying to figure it out. Don't
You
settle.
should
Tell
go
y'all
to like 2,500. You be straight, huh?
No, 2,500 is crazy. I would say more like
So he pay your bills.
if he pays all my bill and gives me like 10 a
10
month.
bands?
Yeah.
Man, hell no, bro.
For me to not work.
Why you gonna come here, bro? You gotta hear this.
I'm
I don't want you to
Barbie,
miss this.
I gotta give you 100 bands? Barbie, no.
I don't
What
want you to
I'm
miss this.
No. Fuck no.
For me to just sit at home and not work, I would want at least 10 a month.
This is taking
For
me
10 a
out.
month, take your ass to work. To do what,
I
Barbie?
didn't get to that number.
You gotta lock
How
it
did
in.
I get there?
Yeah.
Because he said 5,000 a month. That's like if I was just working like a normal regular
It's like
job.
a $60,000 a year job.
Yeah, that's a normal job, right?
Free.
Tax free. You're not doing anything, Barbie. You're at home.
I gave her no bills.
You gave me no bills, and then 10K a month. That was just so I could just be comfortable. I don't have to keep asking you for it.
What are you gonna ask for if I'm giving you 5K? What do you need to ask for?
My parents, I swear to God, you was right.
If I don't have to
Oh,
work,
my mama.
if I don't have to work, I'm gonna want to travel. I'm gonna want to do all these things. That's gonna be expensive.
Is that not going to be a part of his bills or anything?
So he'll pay for my travel with the bills, and then I get
You
what?
got $5,000 to travel.
Still gotta shop, get cute, travel, Pilates class.
Pilates don't cost that much.
Pilates is expensive.
Hey, fellas, y'all in trouble.
They not, cause nobody's doing that.
All our people in the struggle. So.
My parents went lying, boy.
Dang. So I would say, I know this was a hypothetical, you know what I'm saying? They asked her, so she said the number, right? But think about it. I don't know, man. That's a great question. That's a great question. Because 5,000 is about 60,000 a year. That's the average salary. That's more than what most people make. It's a median household just to do nothing. I know people do it for less. She wants double that sum. It's not even 100K. It's 120. Because it's 12 months in a year. 10 times 12, 120. Yo, not even what you call it, like top executive need that much. Well, that's 6 figures. She wants 6 figures to sit at home and do nothing? That's crazy. But they asked her, she gave them an answer. So I can't be mad at her for her answer. But the question is, what is she sent home to do? You know what I'm saying? What is she sent home to do? That's the only thing. All right. I want to run this one. So what's heating up is this women's NBA. Hold on, let's pull that full screen. Let's go here. So the women NBA. So I actually did a recording, not on the women's NBA, but this whole thing with should men play in the NBA, you know, trans women, blah, 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 who's trans woman. And to my conclusion, what I'm thinking is I do see a lot of video coming down my timeline where I see a lot of women, and we're talking real women starting to push back, right? My timeline. I'm talking about my timeline, that a lot of videos of natural born women pushing back on that idea of like trans women calling themselves real women, but calling them cis women. You know what I'm saying? But that stems into this a little bit. So I didn't want to get too far off track or derailed a little bit, but that was something I noticed coming down my timeline. So we're going to watch this clip. This is a shorter one. I didn't get the long one, but this is just a short one of kind of some of the stuff that the NBA is going through right now. So let's run this.
Basketball game. Chicago staying in it. Natasha Cloud. And right before the break, this was the scene inside Wintrust Arena after Natasha Cloud got that bucket. She wanted her voice heard. We have talked about the conversations surrounding the W.
I'll be honest, yo. I'll be honest. And this is a thing that I'm not saying you're supposed to be scared of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're supposed to disrespect people. She's playing a basketball game and see a big-ass athlete like that, and she wants to go fight him. We're not saying that was her intention, but she's walking up like he's a small dude, like she gonna do something. And that's some of the thing that's wrong with the women NBA. I'm not saying anything is wrong with the women NBA, but you do have that moments where looking at this, she's a woman. If that dude hit her, you'd be like, oh, it's a man hitting a woman. But you do have ladies like that willing to engage with a top athlete. Not like he's not like a regular guy, you know what I'm saying? A top athlete. I'm not saying he probably might know how to fight, but he might know how to handle himself. That's a woman. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing that we got to be careful. You see it with ladies. Ladies feel like they could, take on guys. You know what I'm saying? Knowing this is the reason why there's a clear difference between the male NBA, right, and the women's NBA. They're built different. You know what I'm saying? They're built different. I'm not getting into the weeds and all that. I'm just saying it's a clear difference between the men and the women's NBA. This dude played in the NBA. And look at this chick. She's trying to take him on. That was the point that I wanted. The thing is like, Do you really think that she would have been able to take him on? I know 1 and 2 of them might, but not. They ain't gonna win. They probably get a shot in, but they gonna get their butt whooped. But I think the women NBA is in slight trouble. I ain't gonna lie. I think the women NBA is in trouble. It's more controversy than actual performance. Yo, I think it's Mohegan Sun. They sent the tickets for the women NBA, the women's basketball game. Nothing ever even damn sparked me like, all right, let's roll. I remember even my daughters. I got daughters. I was like, hey, Dad, you want to go to a basketball game? I was like, where? Like, nah, I passed. I can't tell you who played. I could see some prominent names, but what team they play for, how much they score, are they good, are they bad? I respect them as an athlete. I like the platform that they have. I respect that they have something, the ladies have something they look forward to in the future. But it's not political, but it's not political. It's more, it has more of a bad, I don't even know how to say, because the NFL and the NBA got that too. So that's not even a good equivalent. But the women NBA is being known for something other than the performance of what it provides. It's like this. You could see someone do something bad in the NFL, but you tune in to watch the game, you're going to get a game. You know what I'm trying to say? Someone did something off court, someone did this, then they get on the field and they're going to perform. You're going to see it. You're going to definitely see them performing tonight. You know what I'm saying? Women NBA, I was laughing at not laughing, but I was watching the highlights of I guess it was the women NBA final or whatever it was, what it was. I was like, damn. But don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. There's some ladies out there that could ball. I'm not taking that away from them. There's some ladies out there that could ball. I've seen some ladies out there that could play some basketball. I am not taking that away. I'm not saying ladies can't play basketball. Let's be clear. Mr. 12 ain't say that. I'm saying I've seen some ladies out there could play basketball. You know what I'm saying? My mom played netball. Netball is similar to basketball. My mom could hit 3 points all day. She don't care. My mom, and so what makes it harder in basketball, you got a backboard. In netball, there's no backboard. So my mom be like, just hitting them. You know what I'm saying? So my mom used to play netball. She used to she used to travel in the islands and play netball. The netball team that she had in the they won the netball championship for Trinidad and Tobago. And she used to coach it. They used to always win. And they still winning. You know, they still winning. But my mom used to travel the islands and play netball. She was top. She was top in the game. People used to call, hey, we got a squad. You want to go play? Mom got her bag ready to go. Gone. So, women could play basketball. I agree. And me, I'm not putting down the sport and how women play basketball. Let's clarify that. But I think the women NBA got more issues going on for it outside the court than on the court. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to switch. We're going to see what's to come with the women NBA because for right now, I don't know. It doesn't even make me want to tune in, but I just like seeing the highlight reels. I like seeing the highlight reels. Let's go ahead and pull this over here and load up the next video. There we go.
All the stuff I do for you as a mother. Literally, I take care of you, I feed you, I cook, I do all that stuff. And all I did, I asked you for your birthday money so that I can pay the light bill. You don't want to give me the birthday money. So I am taking the PS5 back so I can get the money so the bill can be paid.
Well, how you going to ask for my birthday money that I got on my birthday to pay the light bill? And why you trying to take my PS5 away?
Well, you can't play the PS5 anyway. There ain't going to be no damn lights in our house.
You said I've been going out so much you would have had the money. What happened to the income tax?
Charlie, first of all, I'm an adult. Stay out my business. When I come to you as a mother and I'm telling you there's an issue where I need help, you help.
Going out so much. I'm tired of you going out. You need to spend time with us and you need to spend money on your bills.
Leilani, I'm not even talking to you. So you stay in the child's place.
You said stay in the child's place, but you asking my brother to pay your bills. And you like say you need to start spending money on us and stop going spending money on yourself and your little boyfriend.
Boy, y'all is.
For some reason, I know this could be real, but to me it feel like a skit a little bit. Two things, but I've seen this. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen this. I've seen it. I think I've seen so much stuff in my life that, like, when I see it in real life on video, sometimes I think it's a skit. But do you think the mother is right? If she's struggling, she needs help. Do you think she should use the kids' money? I'll say 50-50, right? I don't think she should be like me. I won't do it. But if it's something like $50 I got to pay for something right quick and I give you right back, hell yeah, I'm using that money. I give your money back. I did it with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? But to say I'm taking all your money to go pay a light bill, nah. The light bill is my responsibility. I shouldn't even have to be telling you about my light bill. Your birthday money is your birthday money. If I'm stuck in a pinch and we got to get something real quick, I know I could give you right back. Yeah, I'm going to ask you if you're being, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to ask you like, hey, I need to, you know what I'm saying? Give you right back. I understand that. But to say I'm taking all your birthday money to go pay a light bill, and it sounded like his father just gave him that. I ain't going to lie. Father or somebody. Because ladies do that. Well, I can't say ladies be doing that. Baby mothers that don't like their fathers, they be doing that to the kids. They be taking the money that the father get a kid so they could go do what they got to do and never get a kid the money. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with the kids a little bit, but you can see this was a moment where the kids had to kind of talk back to, you know what I'm saying, to face reality. You know, she was trying to tell him stay in that place. And the kids were well-mannered in that sense where they were trying to say, hey, well, it's his birthday money, but you want to use it. So what I would say is this one is a tough one, but I think the little kid is right. And I think he did it in the right manner where he articulated himself well without going overboard and getting slapped up. Because he looked like he got one of those moms to slap his ass up. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful when you're in that position, you know what I'm saying? Because he's still living with your mom. So you got to be respectful. Got to be respectful. So let's roll into the next clip. Let's see what we got. All right. All right, here we go.
What are you doing? Can you please control your kids from running around? It is very annoying. This whole weekend, walking around, playing, jumping. I have it on recording, so don't deny it. Ada was here the other day. She sat and heard, so don't deny it. Okay, you don't care? I'll let her know that you don't care.
Have a good day. You're violating your contract, by the way. You know that, right?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. If you look at section 5 on number 4, it says you cannot make any excessive noise.
They're daily living noises.
Huh?
So they're daily living noises.
But you're the only one.
No, we're not the only ones.
Nobody else
I have neighbors too that I hear.
But nobody else complains.
Yes, lots of people do. You obviously haven't talked to a lot of people here.
Oh, but I've talked to Ava.
I don't care. I talked to her too.
Okay.
And she
Well,
warned
we'll
me
settle
about
this.
I don't give a shit. Get away from my door. Before I file a restraining order on you.
Oh, I can do the same.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not coming to you, bitch.
Okay.
Get away from my door.
That's good. That's good. I got you. I got you. Don't worry. And make sure your kids are watched and you don't
Nah,
leave them
shut
alone.
the fuck up. I never do. I never do.
So with this one, I'm 50-50. Reason being, when you live in, we had this conversation today, and we were talking about stuff like this. When you move into a new neighborhood, right? There used to be like Unity, Neighborhood Watch, all that stuff. So there's certain rules and stuff like that. Like unsaid rules and stuff like that. There's no more community. So we were talking about, hey, if you look, you see a whole bunch of gentrification going on. They're trying to help out people that were in apartments, Section 8, give them a house, HUD, all of that good stuff. So if you take someone from the ghetto, you give them a house in a nice area. Not all of them, some of them would bring the ghetto with them. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying this lady is the ghetto. I'm not using that scenario. Some of them would bring the ghetto with them, right? I seen it on the other side of town. Brand new housing complex, a whole bunch of new single family homes. The first house in the housing scheme, dude got an old car and fixing his car in the driveway. This is a brand new thing. That's why there's some ordinance that doesn't allow you to fix your car in the driveway. ICE is like, yo, that's stupid, Joe. Why you can't do whatever you want in your own driveway? You paid for it. I used to be like that. I'm like, yo, I think that's dumb. Yes, you could fix your car in your driveway, but 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, turn into a month, turn into a year. No, it runs down the value of the neighborhood. It runs down the value of the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? This is a brand new house, and yes, you can fix your car. If you go out there, you fix your car 1 and 2 days. Yeah, that's cool. But the car been there for like a week or two. That's probably the longest I've seen it. But I know it's a new housing scheme, and it's to see like it's a new housing scheme. And you drive by there, that's all you see. The wheel off, the thing underneath it, it's on jack. It's been there for days. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, yeah, you could be waiting for a part. Yeah, I get all of that. But the older I get, I see how things like everybody fixing cars in their driveway to a whole high traffic people. I also understand the ones at the backyard mechanics where they have a whole bunch of people pulling up and they're fixing cars. And I get it. So this is why I'm saying that. This is why I feel this way. When you go into a neighborhood, you should figure out how the people live so you could live in harmony. Because guess what? The best places I live is the ones that they had Neighborhood Watch. The best neighborhoods I live in is the one that had Neighborhood Watch. You know what I'm saying? I got neighbors you know what I'm saying? I got neighbors across town. They'll call me and tell me about my house over there. They'll call me. Hey, see some strange people outside of your house over, you know what I'm saying? I received one like, yo, see some little kids doing some stone at your stuff like that. It's Neighborhood Watch. You don't want to be in a community where nobody knows you or is kind of taking care of your thing, because kids could have been throwing rocks at my house. I not know and go and all my stuff is broken. So I do like 1 and 2 things where people come and notify you. She was nice, but most people would say she was being rude. So I prefer neighbors to approach me and talk, and I could tell them my position. And from there we live in harmony. But Hey, I know to each his own. People get defensive when you talk about their kids. So that's the next thing but I love kids too. So I will let kids play. You know what I'm saying? You got to let kids play. So I kind of give, when it comes to kids, you got to give them a little bit of lenience. Kids going to play. You got to give them lenience because on the other side of town, you know what I'm saying? Got a property there and the new kids moving. They're young. You think kids care about property line? Kids don't know. Kids gonna run all you. So the kids they bought the house and the kids is running all in my backyard playing. Yeah, they little kids. You know what I'm saying? They just move in. I'm not gonna be I'll get off my. No, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. They little kids. Let kids play. As they get older, you teach them the boundaries. But you know what I'm saying? So I'm 50-50 on this one. I'm a little split on this one. So you know what I'm saying? Because it could go either way, depending on who the individuals are. All right, let's roll into the next clip. Let's see what we got here.
So I came across this.
Let's share the screen.
So I came across this video on my Instagram, and you would ask me like, what's wrong? Because it's me. It's my video. What the fuck?
Women are about to have the worst consent problem with AI images because soon anyone can use your face and make images or videos of you doing anything. That's why we are building a website that acts like a delete button for AI and real images you don't want.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I like where the future is going, but the future could be a little tricky. When I seen this video, I was like, I thought it was real too. When he started switching this stuff, and you couldn't even tell. Like, I'm talking about like how he's able to switch the videos, man. But this is more of an ad though. When I seen this one, I thought it was a real video too, how he switched. But let's roll into the next one. Let's do this one. What the hell? Crazy story, pool party going wrong. I'm just scared about this one. Just the intro of this shit got me scared. If this one goes sideways, guys, I'm switching this one. It says crazy story time. Pool party gone wrong. If it goes left, I'm switching this shit.
Hey y'all, hey. Story time on how I was basically finessed and almost got kidnapped all in one night just because I was chosen to be an entertainer at a pool party. Yes, let's get into it. So this girl that I used to be cool with, right? We gonna call her Fakiana, because that's exactly what it was given. You know what? No, I don't want to call her. No.
I didn't switch it
We're
over.
gonna call her.
Oh man, the way how the video started, guys, it was crazy, but it's not on screen. I already play it back. Here we go.
Hey y'all, hey. Story time on how I was basically finessed and almost got kidnapped all in one night just because I was chosen to be an entertainer at a pool party. Yes, let's get into it. So this girl that I used to be cool with, right? We gonna call her Fakiana, because that's exactly what it was given. You know what? No, I don't want to call her that. We're not gonna call her that. We're gonna call her little bits. She was really small.
call her Lil Bits. All right. So me and this girl I used to be real cool with, named Lil Bits. We was going to this pool party, right? Because I was chosen to be an entertainer there. I used to be a lifetime ballerina, like 3+ years ago, and yeah, that's how I made my bread, and that was one of the ways I made my bread. But at that time, that was like that was one of the ways I made my bread. So yeah, every time I would perform at this specific host person, the person who was throwing it, every time I would perform at their events, I would make a lot of good money, right? So boom, we go to the party, right? I meet her there because we were coming from 2 different places, but she was gonna spend that at my house, so we left together. But we met there, right? Pull up. I made us drinks. I used to make drinks. I used to sell drinks at that time as well. Adult Capri Suns for TikTok purposes. I used to sell adult Capri Suns. And this specific time, I did not eat. And I don't think she ate before she got there either, because we were running behind. So I was trying to hurry up and get there. And y'all, I was all glammed up. Makeup was cute. Face was beat real good. I had a lace front. It was pretty. And it was one that I made myself. I did it myself. Like, I didn't sew the hair in there. Like, I did the color and like the plucking and stuff myself. Like, it was cute. It was definitely given. It was given. Like, yes, I look good. Outfit was cute. Custom little outfit. Like, yes. Nobody had that. It was one of a kind, one of one. So, pull up, automatically making money, right? Boom. This girl that I seen at the party before, she's there. We're gonna call her the Mucinex Booger, because that's exactly what the whole street of Mucinex Booger. So Mucinex Booger with a ponytail, she was there. Mind you, I met her at the last party, the summer before that summer, right? Because that was the first one that I performed at. That's what made me say, okay, I'm gonna go to the next one, which was that one that I'm talking about now, because I'm like, I made good money, so let me go again. Mind you, when this situation happened, I thought to myself, I think she stole from me before, because at the last one, I was lit. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. I was lit. But I had somebody that was supposed to be watching my shit, but at the same time, she was lit too. So it was like, like, that's why, look, this is going to have a real true moral behind the story. This is why I do these story times for y'all. So I'm so glad somebody requested me to do this story, because it's like, the more I talk about it, it's like, you stupid, whew. I'm just so disappointed with myself. I know y'all probably disappointed. You're like, damn, girl, you done did the same shit. Yes, I did. I sure did. All right, y'all. So there's other performers. So, like, I was an entertainer, as a dancer entertainer. They have performers going, you like the singers, the rappers, stuff like that. They're there. This is a huge pool party, like one of the biggest pool parties in the DMV area, right? So, yeah, so
I'm still trying to figure out.
Like I said, I see the girl. We're lit. We're vibing. I had my little pen at the time, my little pen or whatever, because I didn't want to bring no Gassiana. But my homegirl, Little Bits, she brought the Gassiana. She's like, row, I'm going to row. I'm like, of course, do that. I'm like, you want your adult Capri Sun? She's like, hell yeah. So we're lit, like I said. I'm making the bag. The money's coming in. By the time I look up, my drink is gone. Oh, I drunk y'all. That's not good. Y'all, tell me why. This song, Big Booty, show that pink booty. I start doing this, but I get so low and my hands was like this. I almost flipped over and busted my chin, but I caught myself. I was lit. Remember, I finished the whole drink, y'all. We didn't have nothing to eat, and we're zooted. Remember that. And GTA. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
Oh my goodness.
what am I gonna do?
We got a minute more. We got a minute. Yo, I don't know why this thing is so long, yo. But we got one more minute, guys. We got one more minute. Just stick with it.
I called my son. I was like, and it was like, hey, and it was like, oh, you lit. Next time you know how they push you. Oh, you lit. Like, I'm like, okay, chill. Like, let me perform. I'm performing. Let me perform. So I'm performing. I'm doing my shit. I'm doing my big one. Y'all, while we get to the end of the party, I'm counting my money. I didn't even tell y'all. Me and her did a performance together. She was like, let's perform together like how we did before. At the other party, mind y'all, I was lit at the other party, so I don't even remember. I was barely paying attention. I was just having fun, and I was making a bag, and I just, and this is exactly why I would never, when I would work inside like the lounges and the clubs and stuff like that, this is why I never would drink when I would entertain there and perform, because no, this is exactly why. I don't know. I guess I thought I was comfortable because I had somebody with me. No. And that's another moral story too. Watch y'all. Make sure y'all friends be on 10. If y'all want to bring something, you want to perform. If you're a performer and you're going to have a friend with you, you need at least 5 of y'all. 5 of y'all that you could trust. Somebody got to record. Somebody got to be watching your money. And other people got to make sure you're safe. They watching your belongings and make sure nobody fucking with you. And the other person, hyping you up. So you got to have your entourage. Me, I would just bring my one little homegirl and that was it. No, you can't do that. Okay, you can't do that. Y'all want the rest? Let me know.
Yo, when I see this, I know we wasn't gonna get to the end of this story. And this is part 1. That all of that talking was just to get to the beginning of the story. Yo, trust me, I believe this story probably only 1 minute long. This story is only 1 minute long. 1 minute long. All right, let's go to the next clip. Some of these clips are at random, you know what I'm saying? Some of these clips are at random. All right, let's roll this clip right here.
Drama at TSA. I'm at the airport. It's delayed. Well, going through security, and I opt out, right? Because I'm a freedom fighter. Also, I don't want the radiation in those machines, all the things, I opt out. They do the pat down, which is already invasive enough and uncomfortable. They scan the thing and the machine alarms. And I've been through this machine many times, and it's faulty alarms all the time. But this is the first time this has happened to me. So they're we're gonna pat you down again, but we have to use the front of our hands. That's kind of inappropriate. It's essay. I don't feel good about that. It's creepy. So I say that. You say that there could be crazy. What? I'm a cancer patient trying to go get cancer treatment. What? Sorry, I can't say that word at the airport. But so I didn't like that they're accusing me of that. So I'm it's because of your faulty, shitty machine. Which, okay, not the greatest idea when you're going through a place and have 0 rights, but that's what I said. And then she's like, are you going to comply? And I'm yes, I'm going to comply, but I would feel more comfortable with someone else doing the pat down. She's like, well, I'm the only one that could do it. And I'm I want to speak to your supervisor. She's like, I am the supervisor. I'm I want to speak to your supervisor. So then she calls and says oh, she's not complying. Okay, I am complying. I just don't want you to do it because it got all angsty with me. Then the supervisor's a guy. She's the only girl. So I let her do it with the supervisor watching, which is important. When stuff escalates, it's better to have more people watching than not to make sure no foul play. But it's just creepy. Why do you need to use the front of your hands? Especially when it's a calibration issue with the machine. So anyway, I told that supervisor, and then they had to go through all my stuff, and it's just like uncomfortable. And I told that supervisor that that's the third time that machine has gone off on me faulty, and to look at it. So they're going to recalibrate the machine. You can ask for like recalibration methods or records, but it's just a violation of our rights, you know? It shouldn't be like this. To fly, you're crazy.
All right, so I like her story. She got that Goyard bag in the background. Spend that shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she did have a point, but you know what I'm saying? I'd rather them pat me down. You know what I'm saying? But for ladies, it's slightly different, though. You know what I'm saying? But it was a lady. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a guy. Because I was assuming, when she said with the front, right? I was thinking it's a guy. But, you know, it wasn't a guy. It was a lady. So, and I don't know. But I could see she going through her chemo, and you know what I'm saying, she going through it. So, but it's 50-50. 50-50. If I really want to get through TSA pretty quickly, I'm complying. You know what I'm saying? I'm complying. I'm getting through there. You know what I'm saying? Do what the hell y'all want to do. I'm getting through TSA. I want to go sit down, get on my plane, and go home. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, yeah, she got a valid point. She do have some merit to her story, so, but she did comply. Let's go to the other clip. I was going to play that one, but let's see. Let's roll with this one. Ooh, 10 minutes long. Wow.
Hi, friends. So I want to talk a little bit more about this conversation around women in the labor force in the month of July from the jobs report, because I'm seeing more and more sensationalized stories being built around that. And we need to know the facts, and we need to understand what is supported by the data, what isn't supported by the data, and what you cannot infer just based on the data that were presented. Because again, clear stories, clear understanding of what's going on so that we are fighting for the right things in this world. So the first thing I want to do is I want to do a quick and clear definition of the difference between in the labor force and not in the labor force. So in the labor force is anyone who obviously is employed, but it's also anyone who is unemployed but still counted in the U1 through U6 unemployment numbers. Those are really important for us to understand. So if you are unemployed but actively seeking employment and have actively sought, in the past 4 weeks, you're counted in the U3, which is our main reported unemployment rate.
Good information.
If you are unemployed and have actively sought in the past 12 months, you are counted in the U6 unemployment rate, which is sort of the true unemployment rate. But all of that, employed and unemployed, are counted as in the workforce. And that's going to be important for what we're going to talk about here. Not in the workforce, that is anyone who is no longer employed and for whatever reason is actively not even bothering to seek employment. So the most common reason why people go from in the workforce and not in the workforce is retirement, right? You finally retire from your last job. You're like, I'm never working another day in my life. You are no longer in the workforce. You can't be counted as someone who could conceivably get a job. Other reasons why people are no longer counted in the workforce, a common reason is caregiving, needing to take care of children, take care of elderly family members. I'm leaving my job because now my priority is to care for my loved ones and I'm not going to be seeking employment. You would no longer be counted as in the workforce. There's a few other reasons for that. Disability falls into this in the sense of like can no longer work anymore because of disability. But those are kind of the really, really common reasons why people fall into no longer in the workforce. But there are a couple of things that we also want to think about. So there are discouraged workers and there are marginally attached workers. So marginally attached are people who want a job, are available to take a job. They've looked in the past year, but they haven't looked in the last 4 weeks for any reason. So those are the folks that fall into U6. Discouraged workers are people who are actually counted as no longer in the labor force because they haven't had a job for a significant more than a year and have actively not looked in more than a year, but they still want a job. So discouraged worker, discouraged, not counted as in the labor force, but would take a job if offered.
I would say this is a lot of good information because what she's saying, I wasn't really aware, and the way how she break it down is good because people that hasn't worked in the last 12 months are considered, and the news wouldn't tell you that. She said last 12 months haven't worked a job, but actively looking is in the workforce. Wow. That's good information.
Marginally attached, still counted as in the labor force, has had a lot of trouble and has gotten discouraged, but is still looking to some degree. So this is the real story because everybody's talking about the 32,000 women who lost jobs, that jobs were lost to women in July. The bigger and kind of more important number for the story that's being told is that 165,000 women left the workforce in July. That's a huge number for just women in a singular month. And that's kind of the strongest story we can tell. For comparison, men's labor force size was flat from June to July. There was a 0 net change, which doesn't mean no men left the workforce in July. It just means between men who entered and men who left, it was a flat change. So the other thing to talk about, because a lot of the story that's being built up is like, this just goes to show you like patriarchal oppression. They are pushing us out. They want us to be trad wives, this, that, and the other. Women can't get work. That's not necessarily supported by the data. So let's get into that. Mm-hmm. So discouraged workers, remember what I talked about, those people who are like not in the labor force, would take a job if they can, but are just deeply discouraged. That number is actually flat, pretty much. It's gone down by 1,000, but that's within the margin of error, so that's considered a flat number. Marginal attachment, so those are the folks that are getting discouraged but are still counted as in the labor force. That did raise a little bit more. That went up by about 45,000 folks. But people who are not in the labor force and want a job, that fell by 125,000 people. So when we're talking about the story of like, these women want to work, but they're being forced out of the labor market, that isn't necessarily within the July data because people who identify within that number fell. So if women were being pushed out involuntarily of the labor force entirely, those numbers, discouraged workers and not in the labor force who want a job, those should have jumped way up, and they didn't. They fell. So another thing that we need to talk about a little bit is payroll losses, because the other thing is that these numbers are reported from two different places. The jobs number, the 32,000 jobs lost, that is from payroll data. Women leaving the workforce, 165,000 women in July, that is from household survey data. Two different ways of gathering the data. So the payroll losses for July are very concentrated for women. We saw a loss of 43,000 jobs for women in the government sector, which is very tied to local government, which is also public education. And then we also saw leisure and hospitality for women. So if you remember, this ties back, I think, to all the World Cup stuff, right? World Cup was effectively over in July, so we saw a loss of jobs within that, and a lot of those were women. Every other private sector for women added jobs, added 74,000 jobs combined. So one other thing I want to look at, because this is getting long, is the age breakdown of what women lost jobs. We don't have an age breakdown of who left the labor force, but we can kind of infer some things from these numbers. At least when we kind of look at them side by side, we can guess where some things are moving. And this is really, really important, because women 55 and up lost 298,000 jobs in July. Who are the people most likely to retire and leave the workforce? People 55 and up. Women 20 to 24 lost some work as well. It was about 63,000 women in July who lost work, ages 20 to 24. But prime age women, prime age working women, which is ages 25 to 54, that gained 226,000 jobs. So the vast majority of jobs lost was between women of or nearing retirement age and entry level, 20 to 24. Women who are of prime working ages gained jobs. And like I said, we don't have age brackets for people who left the workforce, but if you look at those numbers, we can probably pretty easily say a huge number of women who left the workforce, that 165,000, could very well be women who have entered retirement or entered into caregiving. So I just want to make sure these are important conversations for us to be having, but we cannot sensationalize the data without knowing the actual math and story behind it all.
Yeah. I learned a lot. I ain't gonna lie. This video was informative because it shows you the number, and I like the way how she broke down what is actively employed and what is unemployed, and there's a gap in between with that 12 months where you could be unemployed but still searching, you're still considered. And some of those numbers, man, that's crazy. So basically what she is saying is I'm inferring the younger kids are the ones not working, or the older ones that are retired, between 20 and 25. And we kind of know 20 to 25 is hard because you're now getting into the workforce and you're trying to bounce around and find the right job. So we get that. We get that. I was just poking fun at the young kids. But it's good stats. It's good stats. I like the way how she broke it down and explained all of that, man. Shout out to her. Definitely good content. Definitely good content. I like that. I don't have nothing really to add because this was more of a learning experience for me too as well. Definitely a learning experience. Yeah, I gotta say that one. I was wrapped up in it, listening to the numbers. But let's roll into the next clip. I try to be a little bit more diversified here instead of giving you the same, drama. Well, I could come back in with one drama. Let's go to this drama right here. No, we already did this crazy one. That was a duplicate. Let's go here.
I just hit 100 followers. In honor of that, time for the very first story. Each time I get to a milestone, I'll share something, either local, something of my life, something that's relevant to this channel. As you can see, proud Supernatural University member. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into one of these local Las Vegas ghost stories. Now, keep in mind, I used to do grave shift security at a lot of different places, lots of different places. But specifically when I worked at the Coliseum, I had so many encounters myself, and then eyewitness encounters with people either I was working with or that were also working that shift. Insane stuff. Kind of my first introduction to it. One of the nights I was first getting
I'll be honest,
there.
I can't do no ghost stories, man. Really?
Worker. I've been doing this since my military.
I got no time for no ghost stories, man. And the first thing that comes to my mind is Ghostbusters. I ain't scared of no ghosts. I don't got time for no ghost stories, man. I don't have time for any ghost stories. Let me pull up a clip that I want to run. I got to keep it entertaining. I ain't trying to scare nobody. Let's go here. Give me a second while we get this up. Let's go to my library and pull up a video. I don't really like ghost stories as much, man. I guess I know some people like that, like the ghost stories and all. I don't really care for it too much. When I set it up, I thought it was more so like being ghosted in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So let's roll this one. Let's go to this clip. Let's go to some entertaining stuff. Here we go.
Target has removed what it described as a kid's circus clown Halloween costume after receiving backlash from people who accused the retailer of selling racist merchandise. According to the since-deleted listing, the costume was sold as part of Target's seasonal hide-and-eek boutique brand. You can see the costume right here on your screen. Critics said it looked too similar to blackface used in minstrel shows that were popular in the early 19th century. Target has since apologized. In an online post, the retailer says in part, "We got this wrong and we're deeply sorry. We're looking closely at how this happened and what needs to change to ensure this won't happen again."
So when I see this, right? When I see this, let me pull it back to that part. Give me 1 second. When I see this, it makes me think. Sometimes these people are so disconnected where when I seen it, I cringe for a second. I'm not going to lie. I can't even zoom in on it. Let me see if I can zoom in. I probably got to take a picture and zoom in. All right, it's going to take too long because I got to pull it up. That's on the settings on my other computer. But this right here, it do look like some caricature that they used to do with black faces and stuff. It looked like it too much, Just the face portion of it. I don't care about the rest of it. It's just that face portion. Because I see how if you ever see, and it reminds what it do to black people, not all black people, but most black people that understand. If you look at how they depict cartoons, and I used to always ask that question, like, why when they show black people in the cartoons, they look like monkeys and they look all deformed and deranged, right? And I used to ask those questions when I was a kid. I was like, why? And it was like, you're too young. They wouldn't fully. It was like, it's a cartoon. That's what we used to get in the islands. It's a cartoon. But I don't want to say they, because I try not to, like, now that I'm older and I understand, when they were explaining stuff, they weren't thinking about racism, because, like, let's say, for example, Trinidad and Tobago or the Caribbean in general is majority black, right? So since it's majority black, they won't focus, they understand it, but they won't focus in on racism because everybody is black. But when you look at something like this here in America, you can clearly see the caricature of this right here. But when I see stuff like this, I could tell there's no diversity on that team. There's no diversity on that team, because no way I would be like, oh, that's a cool costume. But hey, they tried, they failed. You know what I'm saying? They tried and failed. But if they had diversity on that team, somebody would have been pointing that out. Day one, like, nah, player. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But diversity. They took out all the diversity, equity, and inclusion. But hey, I'm not saying that. That's a pun though. But here we go. Let's roll into the next clip. But Target be feeling the back end, boy. Target got they got a bullseye, so they've been picking on Target, man. Picking on Target. Target needs to change that damn bullseye. You know what I'm saying? They need to change that bullseye. Let me pull this back. Switch to the next clip. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh, this one. I want to run this clip. Here we go. Check this one out. This one was pretty cool, man. I didn't get to see the whole video, but here we go.
I submitted an anonymous tip to the FBI, and I thought it was anonymous. But then I get a call from a police department saying that they had some questions for me because of the person that I reported to the FBI. And I was like, wait, I thought it was an anonymous tip. How did you, I said, did I put my phone number or my name on there? And they said no. And I said, how did you get my information? And they said, it was the FBI. We worked with the FBI to get your information. So don't be fooled, guys. If you submit an anonymous tip to the FBI, just remember, it's the FBI. Anonymous and FBI don't go together.
She got a good point, right? She got a good point. If they want to find you, they're going to find you. They're going to find you. So I think the wording is what people live off of. A lot of things is what people feel safe with. If you're going to call, or not even anonymous, like she said, is anonymous, they clearly know who the hell calling, because it's the FBI. They got people calling the FBI on a daily basis. They got all of that on lock. They got your IP address. Like, they just came out with the one with Windows where it was talking about the Windows they could track. It was some hacker kid they found based on the computer ID. But they do got technology to get around it. But to do all of that just to get on the internet to hack. Oh my God. Boy, them people crazy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out right here. I'm going to keep this one short. Let's bring up let me go into the Line With Us channel. So guys, the Line With Us store is up. You got to plug it right quick. Let's pull this up here. Let's pull this back on screen. So the Line With Us store is up. Guys, go support the channel, linewithus.com. Yeah, we got some merch up. Go check it out. Support the channel. What else we have? I think we got P coming back. P coming back, I think, next week. Hopefully we get Brandon back soon. But, you know, I'm going to wrap it up right here. So thank you guys for tuning in. You know, I'm Mr. 12. This is Late Night Line, and I'm out. Peace.